Jeremy Ellis here, maker of roxetta.com. We are going to put a game shell using Nitrous onto the web, and then we're going to use Phonegap, which should look like this little thing. We're going to load the game up on our iPad. So let's get going with this. Here's the GitHub. It's called J18 Gamebase PGB Hello World. PGB stands for Phonegap build. So we need to copy that URL. Let's see what, whoa, that wasn't what I wanted to do. There. Okay, so I'm touching that little up box thing. There, I should have copied the URL for this site. On a Mac computer, you could probably use down there to copy it, but this seems to work. There aren't many files here. There's an index file, a Nitrous file. The Nitrous file is reasonably important. It's going to activate connect, and connect acts Phonegap, and then it's going to listen. So let's get into Nitrous. I've already logged in here. I'm going to make a new box. These boxes, you've got to click node right there. Let's see what's happening. So you've got to click that node. I don't like the little names it gives, so it gives it a special number as well, so I'm just going to call it Fred. It'll probably small letters that. You've got to pick a location, and this is where we want to paste that Git repository. It looks all correct, but it does not say Git on the end, so we're going to put Git there. We're going to create the box. Reasonably quick to do this. Now what it's doing, what this box is it's a Linux box online that you can use for free. It's pretty cool. And it has some features that are a little bit easier to use than GitHub. So what you have here is in the bottom, which is a little cut off. I'm just going to move this whole thing up a bit because that command line area down there is quite important. Okay, so we're going to have a look at this. While we're looking at that, I'm going to install the two things we need. It's hard on the Mac to make sure that you're on the iPad to make sure you're actually in that spot. Hit a letter and see if it's going in. There we go. So npm install connect, and this is a very quick installation. npm stands for Node Package Manager. That's it. It'll do its stuff. And the next one we want is npm install. These are Unix commands. Connect dash Phonegap. Okay, so let's get, now that's a long install, so while it's installing, I want to look at the workspace here. We've got a workspace which you can pull down. We've got the Gamebase from GitHub, which you can pull down. And notice we can upload files. That's easier than on GitHub. So I'm just going to go see if my kids have anything in their pictures. I don't know where I put. Okay, so I got a background photo, and I've got two clocks. Let's see what it names them. Don't know why it's calling it just one image. Let's see what it actually does. Oh, I think it just loaded the one image. Okay, I gotta do a couple more images. Who knows which one it loaded? Do a quick look. Okay, there's that little clock. Let's load that background one. And so it only loads one at a time. Let's just do that again. Okay, so I'm done. I'm going to upload it. we got a clock and we've got some kind of weird background. Okay, now on your Mac or Windows or browser or whatever, you can hold down the mouse on the folder and you can add a new folder, but here I can't as easily. So what I'm going to do is use command line. First of all, we've got to get to the directory. So dir, just to read what we are, workspace. So we want to cd, change directory, w, and I saw a little way of tabbing. There's tab. Let's see if it works. See, it autofills for you. So we're in there. Let's do a dir. There's our J18 game base. So I want to go into J and find this little tab button. You might be able to see it. It's right up there. And oh, I forgot the CD. CD space J and tab autofills it. Return. Now I'm in there. Now I need to make a directory. So here's a reasonably simple command, and it must be www. So let's do that, and then let's do a dir and see what's in here. The important one is Nitrous. See it right there? It's hard to point out where I am with this recording device. Okay, so let's go back up here. Get rid of this window somehow. Now we've got to do a little bit of moving around. We need to move this image. Am I going to be able to drag it? Oh my, I'm not going to be able to drag it. That's going to make things a bit difficult. Where is my www? Okay, so we've ran into a little bit of a problem with the iPad, and that is that you can't right click. What I want to do is right here make a new folder called www, and then I want to move these things into that folder. I'll probably set it up so it's not done this way. Okay, now the second reason why the iPad will be a bit of a pain, you can do these things. I could go in here and make directory www and cp the name of the file into the directory www / the name of the file. So cp index.html, www index.html, but I'm supposed to be trying to make this easier. The next thing that's a bit of a pain is in this folder I can upload files. So if I don't like those backgrounds and things like that, so I'm just going to show how to upload a file. Upload it, and then we can change the name of that. You can rename it. Quite easy in the Nitrous online thing, a little bit of a pain for the iPad. I'll remake this movie when they've figured out a way to add those issues into either the file or the edit. All you would need is both those commands. The one new folder just in the file somehow, but you'd have to select where and upload. You probably have to type in the name of the original folder. But it's definitely easier here. Okay, so back on the iPad, we are going to do the main command. So it's called node nit, and just tab it. The directories that was there. That's basically it. So we run it. It says Control C to quit. There's the control button. And what you need to do is go to preview port 3000 to see the game. It's not quite right yet, but what you want is this. You really want, oops, I better get back. You really want to copy that URL because we're going to try to load that into our Phonegap app. Okay, so there's a couple of problems. One problem is these pics we had have the wrong, they are JPEGs, not pings. So let's go in here. We've got to find the, too bad I can't increase the size of that, would work a bit better. I'm looking for some code here that describes, there's the background. So this needs to be JPEG. Okay, and there was another one, so that's the background. And I think I changed move 1, which should be right there. It says ping. That's very strange that that mouse is so large. JPG. There we go. So we need to save this. And come on, thing. I'm almost thinking this is more frustrating than anything. Okay, so we're going to save it. I'm going to hit preview, port 3000, see if our images come up. There we go. And there's the little clock, there's the background moving, touch event, we can hide that. Yeah, that's interesting. Now remember, this is not on your app, that's on a web page. So it looks like we're still going. Let's get into Phonegap, and we got to paste that URL. I already did it. It says Fred, whatever. Let's see if we can connect and see if things are working here. Now that should be clickable. Good, that was clickable. Here's a touch event, and works reasonably quickly, better than an on-click. Look how slow. It waits 300 milliseconds for an on-click to work. Whereas that works. It's auto moving down. If we click it, it fires something. Notice there's a little feedback here that it got it. You've also got a button, but that's going to have the 300 millisecond delay. Now, if we auto write, there's a little red dot that it hits, and there's this blue thing that it can hit. It's a shell of a game. You can do a ton of C. See, it hits the object and then erases the object. I believe when it gets to the end, it'll also bounce back. Just typical game kind of stuff. Let's see if when it hits that object, it records it. Yep, you hit the object. When it hits the red dot, which is a location, I prefer using objects because they're easier to work with. But that location, you hit the red dot. Whenever you see that, it could be you won the game or whatever. So let's